Alright, this is Todd's Takes. I want to welcome you to my channel. I usually don't work in my house, but I'm feeling a little under the weather and the garage is too cold. But anyway, we've taken the engine out of my car because I'm getting ready to backplate it. And so this is basically what it looks like with the engine out, as you can see. And basically all I did was I didn't have to take it in. Some people cut the little strap off of the intake. I didn't want to do that. I just want to keep that all on. I didn't want to put no holes in that right there, man. That's going to give you a bad day. But unscrew those four screws underneath the chassis there. And then, but before I did all that, you can see I marked it. You can kind of see where that white is at. Because when you stick this back on, you got to stick it back on where it lines up, where this gear right here is going to line up with that gear there. Hold on, let me see if I can turn the light on for you so you can see it. Okay, you see that gear there? It's got to line up with that gear. Yeah, it's kind of dirty. I think this is a good opportunity to kind of like get the brush in there and clean it, but it's got to line up with that gear, and that's got to be lined up nice and flat. So that's what you want. That's the reason why I went ahead and marked it. And it leaving those groove lines right there is going to help me put it back together too. So, but what we're going to do, we're going to take the back plate off this thing. You take that pull start off. We're going to oil it up real good and we're going to reinstall it. But this is right here is an actual nitro engine. All right. Stay tuned for more. So this is a pull start of a nitro engine. Now, if you ever strip out one of these, this is basically what it looks like. That's a pull start. What I'm doing, I'm taking mine off because I got no time for if one of these strip out, trying to order one of these and changing them out. So take that out, and that's the plate there. This is a one-way bearing. It flies freely when it's going one way, but when it goes the other way, it spins. So we're gonna take that off, take the plate off. I'm gonna show the inside of the engine. Now, if you're curious to seeing what's inside of a nitro engine, that's exactly what's inside. That right there is the piston shaft. And what I basically did was, let's see, can I set this somewhere where you can see it? Yeah, I know, guys, I need to get me a professional cameraman. But if you see inside of here, this is basically what it looks like. All right, and when you turn that like that, let's do this better. We gotta do this better, guys. When you turn that inside of that, as you can see, it turns like that. See that? And then you can see the piston go up and down like that. It's pretty neat. So that's basically what it looks like. What we're gonna do is, it's nice and oiled up in here. I was gonna take some 3-in-1 and pour it inside. I took the glow plug out, pour it inside of there, and then kind of like turn it a little bit, get it nice and lubricated. But it doesn't look dry or anything like that. It actually looks good. And so when we took this out, this is what we took off. See, this is a big old block of aluminum. This right here robs you of your power, because when you got that pull start on there, that thing there, it's got it hooked up to this, and this is always hooked up to that piston. So as the engine's running, it's always turning this, which is always hooked up to this. So when you're taking this off, you're actually freeing a whole lot more RPM and a lot more horsepower in your nitro. So that's what we're doing. We're taking that off, and then we're gonna backplate it. And then you ask yourself, well, how are you gonna start it up? Well, you start it up with a bump box. You're gonna take and drop the engine to the point where these gears right here drop down, and the bump box itself is gonna start up for you. So I won't have any more pull start, just be a bump box. And that's how that works. So tools, if you're a cheapo like me, I got these tools out of Walmart. You know, I just use that. I use one of these adapters and I'll use that, and it's been working great. Get this tool kit right here. This was like $8 at Walmart. It's got everything you need for a hobby. You know, it's just a hyper tough, and it's got all your, see, it's got all your bits for everything. And I'm telling you, you're gonna need these right here. I just got out of Amazon. These are real good too. These are like 10 bucks. I got about 5 of these little hexes. So, but yeah, when you do that, make sure you get that little spring out of that piston before you backplate it. Okay. Sorry, I'm under the weather, guys. I'm just feeling real sick right now, but when we get this thing together, I'll let you know what's up. All right. Got that part done. If you can see, that's backplated. I went and got oil in it, lubed it up real good, and we got the back plate on. So always make a star pattern with your when you screw things in. You know, like what I mean by that is you know, don't just go zit 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 zit. Just go zit 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 like that, right? All right. So next thing you gotta do is you gotta put different motor mounts on, and as you can see, the motor mounts, but you get new motor mounts like these. That's what they look like. Because what it's going to do is going to drop that motor down so you can bump box it or starter box it. These are the stock motor mounts. These are the new ones. And as you can see, it's a significant difference in the height. Let me line them up. Get them lined up for you. Hold on. You can see that. That's a lot taller. So what it's going to do is going to drop it down a little bit. So that's the reason why they say you can't, you know, backplate these and expect to use a starter box without dropping the motor down. So basically that's the reason why I'm saying with these cars here, that's the reason why I said in one of my other original videos, these cars right here are not really for a first timer or kids that's like brand new, they don't know what they're doing. I wouldn't recommend these. I would recommend like an electric one. I hate to say that, but unless your kid likes to, you know, get down and dirty with tools. Now, this is a great way to introduce your kid into tools and fixing things. I'm telling you. So, but you know, this right here is definitely a hobbyist person that likes to tinker kind of hobby. So anyway, we're gonna finish that up. We're gonna put the motor mount on, and I'm gonna show you what it looks like when it's dropped. Okay. So that's a back-plated new motor mount nitro engine. This new motor mounts on. That's what it looked like. Now, what I did and what I recommend is you guys put Loctite. I put Loctite on those bolts and on those bolts because this right here gets hot and it's violent and it's always vibrating. So these bolts will actually vibrate loose. So I put Loctite. I put a little bit of Loctite on those, all 4 of those, and on the motor mounts. That way they'll stay. I put the blue. Don't put the red. Put the blue. All right. Now we're gonna install this thing. We're gonna see how it looks. All right, guys, and this is how it looks when it's back plated and no more pull start. As you can see, yeah, as you can see, there's no more pull start. Just a back plate back there. We got everything back on. The exhaust back on. The biggest thing is making sure that motor is lined back up. As you can see, I still got my markings. Well, hold on, let me get my light. Let me get my light. See that little white marking down there? That's what I use because this the RTR doesn't have any lines right there, so you can line up the motor. But I just marked it with like a white marker, and so I can line the motor back up because it's got to be lined up. So those two gears right there are in sync. and not rubbing against each other too hard or too soft, too light. So we got this thing just right. All right. This is Ty's Takes. You got any questions about any of this stuff? Please rate, comment, subscribe. The next thing we're gonna do, we're gonna take off these shocks here and replace these shock towers. So I went ahead and ordered this in. Let's go ahead and get this out. This is a Horizon Universal 8-scale starter box. So I went ahead and got that. As you can see, I backplated my engine the other night, so we're gonna see how this thing works. But I got that right there. And also, to race, I found out that you got to have a transponder. So I ordered one of these. This right here is the MyLapse, and you got to have this. This is the only way they're going to tell you, they can distinguish your car from the rest and tell you your times, your laps, and get the 2-wire. The difference between the 2-wire and the 3-wire. The 3-wire, it tells you the telemetry, like engine speed, temperature, things like that. Okay, but here's the thing about getting the 3-wire. The 3-wire, wherever track you racing at, it's got to be set up with the new system. Meaning the person that runs the computer, I hope they got the new system that can transmit for the 3-wire. The 2-wire right here is a hybrid situation that does all the new systems and the old. So you're gonna pay a little bit more for the 2-wire, but that's because of that. Because it can also transmit everything from from the new systems now all the way to the retro stuff. So what you want is a 2-wire. So if you want to race, let's say you race at your local track, and you want to, get a little bit more serious with it. So you want to start racing at other tracks, travel a little bit, really get into the sport. You want the 2-wire. You want the MyLapse 2-wire. That's what you want. Now, if you just want to go to your local track and you call up the actual track and you ask them, do they have the new system? Do they have this new setup? And that's all you're going to do. You're just going to race at that local track, and that's it. And play around in the backyard. Then go ahead and get the 3-wire. You'll be fine with that. But that's the big difference from that. So, with that being said, we're going to open this up and see how this thing looks. And I'll get right back to you. All right. This is Ty's Takes. We just set it up. So, basically, when you take this thing out of the box, we do the universal one. The good thing about the universal one is there's 2 types you can get. You got the type that LOSI sells. That's for the LOSI truggy and buggy. And it's a lot easier to set up. So when you set it up on there, you ain't got to worry about setting screws and setting the pegs and things like that. Like those 4 screws there. But the universal, though, it can do any of them. So any 8-scale, buggy, truggy, it doesn't matter. And so that's why I want to leave it at. Just in case, I want to get another LOSI. I might want to get something else. So I didn't want to be hog-tied with just one. And so what I did, I basically just, for the battery, I used a 6,000 milliamp 3S battery for it. And we're going to see how this thing works. You set it up, you make sure that wheel is touching that blue wheel there. And you can see there's no more pull start. So you got to use this thing to start it. But it makes starting it up a lot easier. So you stick the glow plug in there, make sure it's on, and you press down on the whole car. And it should start up. Started up. I'm sorry the video wasn't so clear on showing you how to do that, but basically what you do, I got that started up like that. That'll run. Basically when you push down on this, it turns that wheel there. See that? So you're gonna be doing, you might be doing that a lot. So make sure you get a big enough battery. I'll show you the battery that I use. I use that battery there. The 50C 11-volt 3-cell, and it's gonna use that plug. So that's the biggest kick about this hobby. It's knowing what plugs to use on what
But I had to get an adapter because there was a bean plug going to that plug, so. But it's no biggie. That's the battery I used on it. Press on it, and it'll crank that up. And you see that that's running. Please rate, comment, subscribe. I hope that video helps. This video helps you out. Yeah. But yeah, because I'll tell you what, it's a lot easier now. I'm not gonna lie. But you got to let me turn this off. That's how you know when your engine is not too lean on your low end idle. If you pinch your gas and you don't hear it idling up just a little bit before it turns off, it's too lean. So turn your low speed idle. Just switching it up a little bit. Anyway, you see that there? Just make sure you got to get so your motor mounts, and you got to get that bike plate. So I don't have a pull start on this thing anymore. So actually, what it did, it gave it a little bit more RPMs, and so which gives it a lot more speed, a little bit more power. And they got that crazy big old block of aluminum back there. It's got to hold on to and spin. There's none of that with this motor. So as you saw in the video, that I put 3-in-1 oil in it, lubed it up real good, ran some gas through it, heated it up. You know, it's ready. It's broke in. It's ready. So, all right, guys, please rate, comment, subscribe, man. I love this hobby. You know, gas is a challenge, but I actually like the challenge, and it's real fun, man. It really is. I salute anybody that's in this hobby. Boulder Jail. I hope I'm spelling your name right, man. Boulder Joe. This videos really helped me out. RC Driver, his videos really helped me out, and a couple more. So, like I said, I love this hobby, man. It's real fun. It's, you know, it's especially like tomorrow. You know, I might go to the track, so go race this thing. So, all right, man. Peace. This is your boy Todd Nitty. I got some other videos coming up. It's not gonna be on RC stuff. It's gonna be on some other stuff, some reviews and things like that. So, but all right, man. Peace out. Rate, comment, subscribe. Appreciate it.